Cool, hey all. So yeah, I thought a video would be better because you can refer to it later. So here we have a bunch of ideas and I would like to talk through my thinking with each one and just so we can get on the right page, same page. Sure. This is lagging because of the resolution of each image. Okay, cool. Starting at the top. So we would like the image, it's for a game studio. We are making maps for Minecraft Marketplace. So we want something really extravagant, over the top, yet readable and something that we can keep forever and ever. So it's a really big task. So I really hope you pull this logo and design off. I'll be working with you throughout the process. My idea is to work with you and watch your progress as we go through and tweak things I don't like and appraise things I really like, so that at the end of the day, when the project's done, I can't say I don't like it, because I was just as involved in it as you were. But you'll obviously be doing all the technical work. So yeah, let's start. I'm going to start with this image here. So this as a framework is very nice. At the backdrop of the subject, the company is called Blockbytes. So I'll type it up here. It's like Blockbytes, like that. So I'm thinking this will be a square block cube, which will be like a relic piece of ancient forefather omni-god computer technology, if you know what I'm going for, but abandoned. Very old because the relic, damaged, fine scratch detail. So using this as a framework, I want to wrap intrinsic detail of something like this, but not as uniform as that, but layers and layers of like detail. And the detail will be subtle, to not like completely draw the attention away from the fonts, the Blockbytes. Cool, next up, so we've done these two images. Next up is this image here. So what I'm thinking is, if you could, the center of this thing, if you were to wrap it around the cube, so if this was a cube and this was the points of the cube, if you were to take this city and all these like details and wrap it around the object, to not make it look like a cube anymore, but more of like a built, something that was built. So following that idea of wrapping an item around it, this image here as well, if you think about this hole being the vertex sticking out to the user, then that like city going outwards and these people like flying out away, creating like action, that's what the base of the cube would look like. And then lastly, there's this image here. I wish I found better objects, but can you see how like the building here has faded away and nature has taken its course? I want that nature's taken its course feel on the relic. So small pieces of moss growing on the side here, a little bit of algae here, some cracks, dust. Cool. And then with these images, this one and this one, it's just the detailing and the components. So these like rings or whatever and this wiring, you would maybe have that run across the top and then a down, and then maybe like this cabling and stuff will run like on this bottom here. So that is everything to do with the basic look and feel of the relic itself. Yes, this thing scrolls like shit with this resolution. Jeez. Cool. And then once you've finished all your detail and stuff, I really like the way that this image is colored in. It's like each piece of detail encapsulates its own color, and there's the little pieces of detailing makes like a mosaic. And then for this applies just for the cube and the relic, so this coloring style. I'll get to the fonts and the text now. Okay, this image here follows that same like wrapping idea. If this cube center could look like this, and also that's the sci-fi feel. We want the relic to look like a piece of sci-fi tech versus some steampunk image. Okay, I just want to talk about these Xbox controllers. So what I like about these controllers is the raw idea of having something that's everyone's familiar with, Xbox controller, in our case this cube, and then they've gone and thrown on all this garbage on top of it, like all this detailed garbage. I want to have that same idea, so the lettering as well, have some sort of thematic garbage that you could like put over the lightly over the letters, but majorly over all your components inside the relic. Cool, so that's the composition. I'm going to finally talk about the fonts, the text art. Once I get this thing to scroll. Okay, so the text needs to wrap around the cube. The cube's going to sit here, or whatever, or the relic. I don't want to say cube, because it doesn't have to be a cube. And then the text is going to wrap around it like this, but the lettering is going to be three-dimensional, and each letter is going to be encapsulated in its own volume, and its own surface area. So all these examples, this one, this one, this one, and this one, all the letters are separate, and they're all 3D. I especially like this one as there's a thematic detailing going through every letter. So on a more complicated level, I really like these ones as there's an enormous amount of like detail and action vibe feel to it. I do want the text to wrap around the cube. This text is like all over the show, so I don't want that. But with the text wrapping around the cube, the takeaway I like from this one is the main framework of each letter. It ensures it's all separate and encapsulated, just like this one. Cool. And then just wanted to talk about a bit of this 3D graffiti. So what I like about this one is the text in the front is just plain 2D, but the 3D, it's got multiple layers and details to its 3D. It's not just these shapes here are just a 3D shape, a 2D image that's been extruded. This one, you can see like multiple levels of extrusion, like extruded and then extruded and then extruded. Then to elaborate on that here as well, this one's got that extrusion detail, multi-levels of extrusion. This one is like the best idea, like the best concept I have. It's very readable, it's big, and it's all separate. So yeah, and finally I just want to talk about your piece, what I like about it. So obviously your work is more illustrative, not really hyper-realistic. It's not the hyper-realism we want or going for. It's just that detailing within the hyper-realism. So with your piece, you've got all these like cool black lines you put that create that detail. I like how these colors are very vibrant, yet dark, and they don't carry the hue and colorfulness as a child's program. So that monochromatic steampunk color palettes is what we want. And then throughout your emblem, you've added all these little details of like lines and etching and whatnot. But you use the same etching technique throughout this piece, which we don't want in the emblem. We want like different techniques of etching. So you can see like these steampunky, really hyper detailed things have separate detailing and whatever. So however you plan on implementing that. And then finally, this image here, I love how there's like this illumination factor that draws the user's attention to a specific part. So if you make the 3D text like pop out of the relic or whatever, and that is illuminated, or if there's like a crevice on the cube that will draw the user's attention, that will be illuminated. But I'm going for a very dark feel, and if we can have the illuminative lights things, I think that'll look really, really cool. Anyways, that's everything from the design point of view. Yeah. So, yeah, I will contact you soon, and yeah, cheers.